Mayor Brandon Johnson now on the clock with a little less than a month to pick a new superintendent for the Chicago Police Department. For the first time, the city's new Community Commission on Public Safety and Accountability led the search, narrowing down 54 candidates to just 3. The finalists are Madison, Wisconsin's Chief of Police, Sean Barnes, who once worked for COPA, CPD Veteran Chief Angel Navales, who heads the department's Policy and Training Reform Strategy, and CPD's Chief of Counterterrorism, Larry Snelling. Joining me this morning to talk more about the first of its kind process is the Commission's President, Anthony Driver, and Commissioner Ramel Terry. Good morning to you both. Thanks for joining me.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having us.
So, Anthony, let me start with you. Many people believe in order to heal the relationship between the community, City Hall, law enforcement, that the selection coming from inside the department would be pretty critical. Now, 2 of your 3 meet that criteria, but what was the tone of the committee on that issue?
Yeah, I think we did our best to be objective. When you look at all of the candidates, everyone who's applied, we wanted to make sure that we picked the best of the best. As I've said many times before, you can't be Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or whatever great athlete that you would like to be if you only play against your teammates, right? You have to compete against people from across the country, from around the world. And that's what happened in this process. And we believe we found the best of the best.
One of the things, Ramel, that was new about this process really for the first time was community driven. Talk about the importance of that element. And what I mean by that is the importance compared to the need to be sure that the right person with the proper law enforcement skills, a technical piece, how those 2 got balanced.
Well, as we know, the role of the superintendent is to be the superintendent for all of Chicago. So it was very important to ensure that community voices were at the forefront of this process. And when we say community, we also mean police officers. This is the first time their voices have been heard as well in what they would like to see in a superintendent. So we made sure that everyone who will be impacted by this role was heard.
So, Anthony, I've gone through who the 3 selections are. They're all men. They are all persons of color. Can you talk about the factors that led to these 3 being the ultimate and final selections?
Yeah, well, first, it was their written application, their written materials that were submitted that we reviewed. It's their educational history. It's their background. It's their proven track record. It's our ability to look back in their past and see what they've been able to do and what they've been able to accomplish within police organizations. And it also speaks to their vision, their ability to sit through, 5-6 hours worth of interviews with our commission and answer questions that were taken from the community, from subject matter experts, from folks from around the country with law enforcement experience, and really knock those questions out of the park.
I know one thing
That's what I got about these 3.
Thank you. Okay. I know one thing important to you guys, of course, was having this be a very transparent process. You had some pushback, although I will say that the Police Federation president, John Catanzara, he seemed to be pleased with the community involvement here. But, of course, you had back in June 19 aldermen, older people who, wanted certain demands and requirements. They wanted you all to grant an interview to CPD Chief of Patrol Brian McDermott. That didn't happen. How did you all deal with the political pressures, Ramel, that were put upon you? Clearly, I'm sure, by a variety of factors.
Well, the way that we dealt with political pressure is by maintaining our independence. This is an independent commission, and we have shown time and time again through all of the work that we've done thus far, and especially during the superintendent process, that we will not bend to any political whim, because this is about the community and us choosing the best candidate, and not about anyone who has certain relationships, but who rose to the top, as President Driver has already pointed out, as the best of the best.
On Thursday night, the community got to speak out on all this. I'm sort of curious, Anthony, on that. How much did the voices of the community truly, I mean, you did your thing as a committee, as a commission. How much did you really take into account the voice of the people when they would speak at a public meeting?
It had a tremendous impact on us. As I said last night, this was not public engagement for the sake of checking the box. This is public engagement for the sake of checking in with the community. So we released a 68-page report. In that report, community members who've asked us questions can actually go and look and see the questions they asked us were used in the superintendent search process. We took those questions and asked them directly to people who were applying for this job. So we also use it to develop our rubric, right? Our scoring material, everything was taken from the community and from experts from around the country.
Ramel, the mayor now has 30 days. I mean, that's the rule, right? He's on the clock already to decide, from when the decision was announced, to decide whether he is going to go with one of these three candidates. He also has the power to say, nope, don't want any of them. Let's have another national search and go through a similar process again. Ramel, how important is it, do you think, to the committee, to your group, to you, that the mayor select from among these three? Or is your vision of this sort of well, we tried, but if he doesn't like him, well, then he can do what he wants?
Yes, we respect the authority of the mayor and his autonomy to make the decision that he chooses. But what we do believe is that we've put forth some of the best candidates from our nationwide search. So we're pretty confident that Mayor Johnson will be pleased with the work that we've done. He's already giving us accolades for the work, and he's respected our process. And I believe that we put forth some of the best, and he has an opportunity to choose someone if he so chooses.
Anthony, just a final question. Former longtime Inspector General Joe Ferguson said, look, the challenges are beyond the capacity of any one person. Was part of your consideration thinking about the other players in this, Cook County State's Attorney, the other various people that play a role?
Yeah, and we interviewed those folks, and we talked to every single one of them during this process. They're on our subject matter expert list that we interview. So of course, but as I've always said, we're here to run our leg of the race. The new superintendent has to run their leg of the race, and Mayor Johnson has to run his, and so does everybody else. We're not trying to fix everything in this problem. We just want to be a part of the solution. All
right, Anthony Driver and Ramel Terry, thank you for your insight on this recent process. We're going to watch it carefully, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again. Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one more break. We'll be right back.